Yay! Today we are graced by someone who knows what they're doing. We are graced by a king. Welcome to Ama Fama, guys. Now, I'll tell you something. I am starstruck. Because today we have a legend, somebody who is well known in the agri spaces, somebody who is well known when it comes to breeding cattle. And I'm talking about Duncan Serapelwane. There is a saying that I picked up from someone, and it says, and I'm quoting, "Each step you take leaves a mark, not just on the ground, but in the hearts of those who follow." And that's exactly what Duncan has done. He's left a mark on all of us. But enough from me. Let's hear from him. Duncan, thank you so much for coming to Ama Fama.
Thanks, Ndadetabi, and thanks to the media house for affording me the opportunity to being here today. Now my name is Moalosi Duncan Serapelwane, the owner and the founder of Moalosi Bonsmara, which I normally call it in short MDS. I'm from Morokweng, small village in the northwest, very simple village. That's where I'm coming from.
Duncan, now I just want to know, how did your journey into agriculture start?
You'll understand, I think in many of my videos, in many of my things, I always tell people that I'm a qualified teacher. I'm an insurer. I used to work for the insurance. I worked for the bank. Somebody was reminding me the other time and said, "But Duncan, you always never say you worked for IEC." Look, my father was a farmer. He's retired now, he's still alive. He raised the six of us as a farmer. So some of the knowledge I got it from my father. Most of the knowledge actually I got it from my father. But you know, in short, I always say to a lot of people, something that made me to change from teaching, banking, insurance and whatever was a simple thing of seeing our white counterparts doing things differently from us. And I felt we have all the capability as black people go ka etsa dilo differently le rona. I think that's something that drove me to where I am today.
Now, speaking of go etsa dilo differently, you do come from a farming background. You guys had cattle, right? And now tell me something. I remember one time we spoke to you, you said, hey, you looked at your cattle and they didn't look like the white farmer's cattle. So what did you do at that time? Just tell me through the process. You took all those cattle, got rid of them, and then what did you do after that?
No. I did not sell everything. I kept whatever I had. So whatever I had, I kept it, and I built on top of that. You must understand, Jorge, what I saw was, these guys, they are more focused on genetics. Now we are focused on numbers. And this is where the difference comes. We are more focused on quantity, they are more focused on quality. So I decided, no, the quantity I see, but the quality I don't have. That's one. Two, every time in a good bull or a good ram, I'll go to the white counterparts. And I'll always ask myself, if we say whites got us here in this country, and they got cattle here and goats here and everything here, and they perfected that, why can't we perfect it on our own? But there was no way I could learn because they have already been on the journey. So I had to go back to them, swallow my pride, go back to them and learn from the masters. And I learned from them, and even now I'm still learning from them. I think you understand, Jorge, go northwest Bonsmara. I'll talk Bonsmara. But I think even other breeds. I'm one of the first, na le ntate Mahura, le ntate Choche, we were one of the first Bonsmara breeders, black Bonsmara breeders. Well, others can come now, but we were the first three. And even now, we still don't have other black farmers who are Brahman breeders, Charolais breeders. And I always encourage people, guys, let us not just go to Bonsmara, let us go to other fields also. We have now some Boer goat farmers who are coming into place through my influence, through our influence. And that's very important. But since then, I started moving from quantity to quality. I can see the difference in my farming because all the cows that I had, I used quality bulls on them and changed my cows, and then the weight changed, the fertility changed, the milk changed. Most of the traits, which are very important, started to change. And lastly, which I always say to a lot of farmers, money will be the last. And at least I can see the fruits of what I planted some 15, 20 years ago. It's very important. Start with the right things. The money will come. This is not the business of money. This is the business of food security. And if you do things right, the money will come, will follow at a later stage.
Yeah, you know, what you just said now, the money will come. There's a lot of perception now where agriculture is a retirement career. Agriculture is for the older people. Or you even get younger people saying, man, if I'm going to have money if I have ground. Do you understand? So let's talk about training and development. You and I had a nice chat outside.
Yeah.
You want to start your own academy so that you can actually teach people who know, guys, this is a lifetime career. Isn't that correct?
Look, I am at a stage where I think I don't become younger anymore. I'm getting older. I think the first time you visited me, I was in my early 40s. I think I'm in my late 50s now. I'm going to 60.
Yeah,
Now, you know, and this is what I always say. The knowledge that I have, I must give it over to the young generation. Because some knowledge was imparted to me by people who came before me. You know, so I must also impart. So keep busy now with another guy. It's a professor. He studied Kubo Stellenbosch, Pretoria University professor, Ndeke Musi. He's from Kenya. We want to come up with an academy. And something that drove me, Kohore, for the past year since Kelego Taylor Span, every year I was taking 1 or 2 students. For them to get the certificate, they had to do 6 months to a year practical. And the numbers of people who calling me every year, asking for that practical, it's getting more, you know? So if I can have a class of students, so that the theory that they have learned Koskolong, they must turn it into practical now, you know? So this is the process. It's a process also. It can take me another 2-3 years, but for sure it will materialize. And that's very important to me, because whatever I have learned, I will impart it to other people. But still, I'm still continuing on an annual basis with my Farmers' Days. That's what I do every year. That I cannot stop doing, because if you stop learning, that's the day you perish. So you keep on learning. You keep on learning, especially genetics. There are new things that comes into play every year. So you must keep on learning. I mean, even myself, at my age, I'm still learning.
Because another thing that you spoke about is that practical, lay theory, sometimes they're not the same.
Not the same.
So, I mean, you would get a student who would know what a certain type of grass is. But on the farm, they can't point and say that's what the grass is.
No, they can't.
So now, I mean, those are future farmers.
Yeah.
So what do you think should actually happen to cross that bridge for all those people coming out of colleges and going into the agri sector? I mean, they are going to produce our food tomorrow. So what do you think should happen to cross that bridge?
You see, that's why I'm talking about the academy. This is the idea behind the whole thing. Let's say if I have, for the first 6 months, I get about 30 to 50 students who will be in my farm. Because the first 6 months of the year, there's something that's happening. From December to a certain period, it's rainy season, especially in my area. That's where grass starts to grow. So a student will see what's happening when the grass grows, how the livestock behaves when the grass grows, what poisonous plants will come up first when the rain rains, the behavior of cows and everything. And when winter comes, what is that you do? The health status of your farm, the maintenance of your farm, how do you maintain the condition of your farm, of farm animals throughout the year so that it will not drop, because that's very important, you know? So some of the things that they read from the books, they must do all those things in practice. It's very nice now because I see a lot of people are saying they are farmers. And I always say to most of the young kids, if you have never been through a drought, use your words sparingly to call yourself a farmer. If you can pass the first drought and the second drought, then you can say, I am graduating to become a farmer now. But if you have never went through a drought, because that's a painful situation, you lose some of your cows whilst looking at them dying like that. So the practical aspect of farming, it's very important. But the other thing that I want to tell you, Kuhore, we're more focused now as black farmers on the production line. It's very good. We forget processing.
Yes, secondary agriculture.
Secondary agriculture.
Yeah.
And that's where most of the money is. Mm-hmm. We forget the auctions. This is what our kids must understand and they must learn. Okay? So this process, yes, we are more focused on it now. The production line. The processing, we're still not here. The auctioning, we're still not yet there. You know? And this is where we need to get to. Take these kids from here to here and from here to there. You know? It's very important. Earlier on, you asked me another question. I just forgot about it. I'll remember it as we go on, but it's very important. I'll remember, and immediately I remember, I'll stop you.
You mean auctions?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about auctions. Okay. Before we start, tell me, you had auctions last year, 2 of them, and you did very, very well. So let's talk a little bit about that process now. How did you, when you decided, or no, I'm going to have auctions on my farm? Take me through that process.
Okay. Auctions. That's one thing. It's very important. Now, we've got different types of auctions. We've got the normal monthly auctions that is held by the auction houses. The Andrekok, the Vleis Central, the whatever of this world. Okay? Now, this is where all the farmers take their produce to and sell. You don't have any guarantee there. That person who sells there tells you exactly, we don't take responsibility of anything here. You buy, you have bought. You take home. We cannot guarantee you whether this thing is fertile. We cannot guarantee you whether this thing will give you calves. We're selling for slaughter. Exactly. This is what's happening here. Now, that's the first type of an auction. The second type of an auction, it's a production auction. This is what we're doing. Myself, Christopher Melamu, and other stud breeders. We guarantee you, we're saying, here is a bull on offer. It's fertility tested, the semen is tested, the health is tested, everything is tested. And here's the certificate. The same with the females. The females, they have been checked, whether they don't have diseases or whatever. So you buy in something which you are guaranteed that you gonna produce with that particular thing. And that's why in that auction, you can go there. Things are cheaper there. You can get a cow for 8,000, 6,000, 5,000. No, it's cheaper here.
So that's the auction without the guarantees, ne?
No guarantees. No guarantees.
Voetstoets.
And Afrikaans will say, goedkoop is duurkoop. You can buy it at 6,000, but you're not sure whether it will give you a calf. You can go to that auction and get a bull. Looks good because it has been fattened. You'll get it for 15,000, for 10,000, but you're not sure whether it's having semen because the owner, it's not giving you any guarantees. But you come to our auction, the auctioneer will say, our bull starts at 40,000. Because when the bull starts at 40,000 and you buy it at 50 or 60,000, you give it 20 cows. It will service the 20 cows. 20. Let's not talk big numbers here. 20. Now that 20, we mean you have 20 cows. Let's say the price of the calf now, let's not talk big, man. 5,000 rand a calf. So 5,000 times 20 is how much? 100,000.
100,000 rand.
And you have bought a bull for 60,000. Somebody will be saying, before you start making calves, say, 100,000. No, 50,000. It's a lot of money. Go give it to the cows. Go get the calves. See if you are not making money for the first year. And if you have 2 seasons of breeding, which is summer and winter, that's what I'm doing. I've got summer breeding season, I've got cows that calves in summer, and I've got cows that calves in winter. So I can use a bull in two times in a year, in 2 seasons. From January, February, March, and the 20th of April, the bull get out of the cows. I give it licks, fodder, so that
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But that's true. Now that you put it like that. Yeah.
You must give a bull mat because you want money out of this bull.
Exactly.
Huh? You want production out of this bull. Huh? Now, July, there are cows which did not catch the bull, or there are heifers that are going to the bull for the first time. You put the bull again. From January to April, you gave it 30. Now, this time again, you give it another 30. So it means the bull is servicing 60 cows in 1 year. But you must look after the bull so that it must look after you. Okay? Now, let's say when you do pregnancy diagnose, from January to April, it's at 85%. Pregnant cows. Guaranteed.
That's a very high number.
That's a high number. Okay? Let's say this one's from July to September. When you do pregnancy test, you get another 75% or 80%. Now let's put it to numbers. That side, maybe you got 22 pregnant cows or 25. That side again, 22 or 25. Let's talk 25. 5 missed, 5 missed. How many cows? 25 cows, 25 cows. 50 cows. 50 times 5 is how much? Over 500,000.
500,000. And all that is from one bull that costed 60,000.
60,000. Now that's how you look at the value of a bull. And we're talking 1 year. And you can still keep the bull for 3 years. You can still keep the bull for 4 years. As long as
yeah, I was just about to talk about that. Like babies and that's why inbreeding.
As long as you use it in the older cows that it started with them. It started with. They are calves. The calves of this bull, you must go and look for another bull. You must understand we are in business here. And make sure that you run the business according to the book. In that instance, you will grow. In that instance, you will make money. But if you don't do that, the value of your cows will go down. If you do things the right way, the value of your cows will go up. Simple mathematics.
Sure. So, Nakbato is important, Duncan. Some of our people, what's our bull way? He just like puts the bull in cows and just in J. Why is inbreeding itself? Why does it have so many problems for the farmer? Because I went to a farm and the poor man, like he just takes the bull and puts it in the cows. And you might find that bull is mating with one of his kids. So what does that do to bloodline at home?
Awana, you gave me coffee. Nice coffee. The cup is here now. Now I don't put coffee again. I only put water. Then I drink again, gets here. And I put water again. What's happening?
The quality of the coffee is it's no longer coffee anymore.
It's no longer coffee anymore. It's become water. The same with the cows. We're talking genetics here. We're talking something that will stand the hardships. Okay? And that's why we're talking bloodline. Bloodline. Huh? Now, the more the blood of the cow becomes diluted every now and then, now it means the cow and the calves becomes weaker every now and then. The calves becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. That's one. Two, most of the calves will die because they are weak. Alternatively, we start to have dinamane za dikgwele.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Weak cows.
Weak calves, yeah. They're constantly sick, that type of thing, yeah.
Okay? Because the blood is thinner. And your quality of the cows you'll be taking to the auction, you won't be getting the same money because the buyers knows if a thing is a pure breed, he can tell. And if a thing is an inbreeding, he can tell, this is not a good thing. Ka Setswana rare ngwana ha ntse a ya o nna diphatšhane kore ke ngwana ga wa kgaitsadi le kgaitsadi o boitlhela ngwana le ntlhaloganyeng ska re yaanong go tile ga tha ke bitse mainaga o itlhela tlhogo e le kana dimpanyana di le kana o bela ele gore go na le mathatanyana go na le mathata. So it's very important to keep the strong bloodline. In keeping the strong bloodline, it's use different bulls. And that's why this thing is really important, recording.
Record keeping.
This is calf record book. I know gore khomuya CRV 12484. Last year, ki file po ya ZEV 1777. mfa namane ya Pharisee. So namane ya Pharisee I cannot give it to Zev 1777. Okay? Right. Now, let's say I also have a young bull here of Zev 1777 with MDS 1803. Now, I cannot take this young bull, if it becomes a bull, and put it on that calf at 34 of 23. This bull will be 38 of 23.
So basically,
I cannot take this bull calf and put it on that heifer because they are from the same father.
Same father, yes.
Because they are from the same father. I don't want now I can do it. That's what we call line breeding. But because knowledge, I can do line breeding. We have line breeding and inbreeding and pure breeding. So how say it? We see at that stage. Do it simple. Use the bull, not on its calf. Simple. Up until you'll get to a stage of line breeding. Don't be in a hurry. You'll get there. But for now, use a bull and don't use it on the sisters or on the daughters. Don't do it that way. Use the right bull. So this record thing, it's very important. And these books are for free. I always give it to people. Go and record.
I'm in school here. I'm in school.
Free education.
Hey! I'm in school here. That Duncan, so Nakabato is Agero and Utilagadi Bonsmara. Now, for a farmer to choose a breed, let's talk about choosing a breed now. What is the first step that he needs to consider before I'm gonna farm ka Brahman or ka Bonsmara?
You must not forget that I'm a teacher. And I always try and teach people with examples. You are a man. Are you married?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet. That's the correct answer. Not yet.
Not yet. Nice one. Now, the day you're going to marry, one, you're going to marry a woman you love. That's point number one. You look at the qualities you're looking for, the right qualities. 3, you look at whether this woman will be adaptable in Kalahari or she will be adaptable in Joburg. I can count some of the things that you are looking for in a woman. Then you decide whether you want to marry that woman. The same with farming. Same. Look for the breed you love, not the breed Duncan loved. Look for the breed that will adapt in your area. Look for the traits you dearly like from a cow. If you are an Nguni person, you are an Nguni person. Stick with the Nguni because you love the skin, because you love the color, the black and white, the brown and white, the what and what. That's what you like. Okay? If you love the Brahman, there are people who love the temperament of that Brahman. Go for that. All right? Because if you go for something you don't love, firstly, you'll never stick with that thing. If you go for something that won't make it in Kalahari, you'll never last with that thing. So look at the traits. Look at what you want. And if for sure farming is not your thing, don't get into it. Please do us a favor. Don't get into it. You're wasting your money. If processing or auctioneering, it's what you like, you are still in farming. We will still call you a farmer. We will still call you a farmer. Go into processing, go into feed loading, go into abattoiring, you know? But in short, go for something that you love.
Go for something that you love. I had Dr. Tapelo Makai here, and he asked me, when am I getting a farm? I said, absolutely not. And he says, why? I said, Emuna, I'm lazy. I don't want to wake up to help a heifer deliver a calf. This is my farm. This is my farm.
And stick to it.
Exactly.
That's exactly what my father always tells me. How le motho wa di chips, dula go di chips mo je di chips.
Yes.
How le farmer, go into farming. Because, look, let me just tell you something now. 2 weeks back, I lost 10 sheep.
Okay.
Plus 10. In my area, I think up to now, I've had, since the rainy season started, less than 60 millimeters of rain.
We've had so much in other parts of the country.
Less than 60 millimeters of rain. And immediately it starts to rain in Kalahati. The first thing that comes up quicker, it's a poisonous plant called slankop. And immediately, nkupudi khomu is the thing. You're gone. So your decision making in farming must be very quick. Very quick. So I had to move most of the things down there. I had to move most of the sheep and the goats and the animal from the riverside to inland. But I had lost already. Okay? Now imagine how much it's 10 sheep.
Oh.
Can your heart take it?
No.
Huh?
No.
You can't take it. But you need to be very strong, mentally strong. And when you lose something, you have lost it. It won't come back. Focus on moving again. Focus on what's next. Focus on how do I recover. I've lost plus 5 cows.
5 cows in a space of how long?
2 weeks.
Do you 5 in 2 weeks?
5. Fortunately, the commercial mainly, because in that part of the farm, you keep the commercial. But it's money.
It's
still.
money. That's not small.
It's money still, you know. And now, if I have to get into the program of eradicating that, it's money again. Okay, it's money because you can't just okate slankopo mohudimo. You can't. You must dig it. You must get people to dig it with that onion type of a thing. Dig it out, dig a big hole, put it in there and burn it.
That's a lot of work and time.
That's a lot of work and time and money,
Yeah.
you know? So for a person to become a farmer, you need to have guts. It's not for the faint-hearted. And you must understand by then, people are waiting out there in Joburg, in Cape Town, in Durban.
Yeah.
So you must produce. It's not time to cry here. It's not a baby shop. Oh, lelwante mona. Kwa berekiwa mona. Now hudulela holela mona. But wabatla nama kwa lentati. Wabatla hoja. Give people meat.
You're a teacher, can't it? You're a teacher, can't it?
And that's why I was saying to you earlier on, if you have never passed through a drought, use your words sparingly that you are a farmer. If you have never passed through some of the things I'm talking about, use your words sparingly. If you have never gone through theft, use your words sparingly and wait for some of these things. I'm not saying go pray that they happens to you. I'm not saying that, but use your words sparingly. And train your heart and your mind that when those things happens to you, you can withstand the pain and the agony of everything.
I made the right decision. I don't want to wake up and I've got 5 dead cows that I paid a lot of money for, so I made
sure.
the right, yeah.
And if you like holidays, you must understand, when it gets to December, workers are excited. They also want to go home. So if you are a December guy, you want to go on holiday in December, train your heart and train your baby, your fiancé, that maybe you need to be at the farm, you know?
Oh.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
And this is what I always say to a lot of my black counterparts. Please, man, don't go and build a mukuku at the farm. You can't work hard and go sleep in a mukuku. I don't think it's right. You can't work hard and only go and watch TV when you are at home. I don't think it's right. Where your money is, try and, we know it's difficult, but try and build yourself a 2-roomed house, a 4-roomed house, a shower, you know. You cannot afford always ao chaisa kwa lo botshela metsi ka skotlele o lapile mo.
Yeah. O bidisa ka ketlele mo.
Yeah, man. Dira stortonyana mo ntle mo le o nne le showeranyana tog, man.
So basically, you're saying that people must invest in their businesses also by doing stuff like that.
Invest in your health.
Wow. Oh, that too. Okay.
Invest in your health. It's hard labor there. Now imagine when you knock off o tshela metsi ka skotlolo o taboga ka skotlolo a go tlhapa. Huh? It's like you're not serious. It's like you're not making money there.
Yeah. My teacher.
Hey,
my teacher. Yeah, go ahead. Ungintse skolo. Ungintse skolo. So, Duncan, now I always have this question burning at the back of my mind. Were you farming? First of all, you're farming very close to the Botswana border. It's dry there. It's hot. When I was there last time, I was like, how does Ntate Duncan get this right? To farm in this climate so successfully. So yeah, I'm asking you that question now.
When I ubua Kalahad.
Yes. Go
Yeah. Now, when I ubua Kalahad, there are people who are farming in the Karoo. There are people who are farming in the worst area than Ekele Moyon. It goes back to the question we put it earlier on. As much as you select the cow that you want to farm with, you must know your area. I mean, look, how can Zayana go farm ko Rustenburg? As much as Pula dina tata ko Rustenburg, Bojambuli Greeny tata ko Rustenburg, I might fail. I might fail because it's an area that I don't know. Kalahad, as much as Hole Tata yalo, Haina Malwiti Amanti. You take me to Rustenburg, I can't hard water that much. I read about it, I hear about it, but I must also understand it practically. There are many diseases that side. I must still adjust to them. Right. The type of grass, it's not the type of grass Rustenburg. Rustenburg, I might need more feed to feed my animals because it's a sour veld. Now, how you go Kalahad? It's a mixed veld, mainly sweet veld. A cow becomes fat on the veld with minimal leaks. How you go Rustenburg? The water table is not that very deep. If you go to Kalahad, the water table is deep. You can go to up to 200 to 250, up to 300 meters before you get the water.
Go Kalahad.
Go Kalahad. But you must know some of these things. You can take me from Morokweng wa ntlisa Gauteng. Ke be ke palelwa mo Gauteng. With all the lights and the tarred roads and whatever. And o bo ntlogela ko Morokweng. And make a living there. And become happy. So it's all about where are you comfortable with? Where are you happy at? I mean, I was a teacher. I was not happy at teaching in classroom, but I'm still teaching.
Yes.
So the teaching I'm doing now, I'm enjoying it. But take me to class. I'm not going to enjoy there, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing here. I'm enjoying what I'm doing with people outside the classroom. So it's a question of where best are you suited at. If you are good in Mpumalanga, does not mean that you'll be a good farmer in Kalahari. And you can become a best farmer in Kalahari and become the worst farmer in Mpumalanga. So it depends.
But Duncan, now I can talk with you the whole day. I am not exaggerating. I can talk with you the whole day, but unfortunately, all good things come to an end.
Yep.
And let me be honest. When I look at this paper here, I wasted my time. I should have just said, Dr. Duncan, there's the platform, just talk.
Talk to us.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
And I am so happy you came here.
Yeah.
Lastly, Dr. Duncan, to that young person,
Yep.
you know, I'm gonna drop a name now. To that young person, that young Shobi Sileyende, who wants to become the next Duncan Serapelwane. Please give us your parting words of advice.
You know, if you talk about Klubi, I think I met Klubi for the first time in Rustenburg. I was there to address Farmers Day in Arinjuleke, Dade Peter Mashala. Then I met Klubi there. She spoke to me and I gave him my number. And I could see that this woman is very passionate. And I said, I will visit your farm. And for sure I did that. I took my kids. That's what I normally do. I love going around with my kids. And I took my kids and we visited her. And I spent 2 days there. That's what I love. And I think when I left there, one of the things, she was not staying in the farm. She promised me she will go stay in the farm. She had an old bull. She promised me that she will take out that bull. Her farming was not organized. She promised me that she will organize her farming. And fortunately, she did most of those things. And I'm happy for her. Now, most farmers or young people, when you talk to them, they want to take pictures with you. It's very good to take pictures with me and other prominent farmers and other farmers and whatever. It's very good. But the implementation of what you have been taught is the most important thing. The doing things the right way is the most important thing. Farming is all about food security, not about TikTok or Facebook or whatever, okay? And my father will always teach me, farming is a slow business, but it's a show business. So when you do farming, take time. Don't focus much on the money side. Focus more on the production side. Because when you get that right, things will start to fall into place. Learn and be prepared to be taught. And be prepared to implement what you have learned and what you have been taught. That's very important. And appreciate in life. And as a farmer, I'm not saying you must go and be a born-again Christian. I love that. It's fine. But I believe in knowing that whatever I have is through the grace of the Lord. Botlhale ba me le tse ke nang le tsona, they are not very much important to me. God first in farming. Because we depend in Him for our survival. So that's what I can say to most of the youth. And the youth out there and every farmer out there must not forget that this year is the third production auction of Moalosi Bonsmara. June, the last Tuesday of June in Vryburg. The quality keeps on improving. We normally keep on 20 bulls on the auction. This year will be anything between 25 and 30 bulls on the auction. Quality. Myself and Moalosi Bonsmara. We're going to have about 120 females. And mainly, they'll be coming from Moalosi Bonsmara, Moalosi Bonsmara, and Motati Bonsmara. So all these three guys are stud breeders. The other thing is we must learn as black farmers to work in teams. Help one another. As much as government assists us, we must assist ourselves as black farmers. We're not saying put away what for white farmers. Let's work everybody. Actually, maybe I must put it the right way. South African farmers, we need each other. We need to work with one another. They need our wisdom, we need their wisdom. But at the end of the day, we're not working for ourselves. We're working for you, Ndadetlabi, who doesn't want to be a farmer. We're working for this cameraman who can't be a farmer. You know, we must produce food for you. That's the name of the game. We must produce for you guys. And let's work as a team. And the other thing that I want to acknowledge is the assistance that I get from government. I appreciate it from the depth of my heart. The assistance that I get from Land Affairs, from Land Bank, from all the government institutions. I'm not here to talk about their flaws. Everybody has his own flaws. I also have my own flaws. Yeah. So the focus is, sometimes when you talk positive, you train your mind to be positive, things change from bad to better. So young farmers, learn to appreciate, learn the little that you have been given will make you a better person the next time.
Dr. Duncan, when you open your school, not if, when, student number 1, I'm there. I
For
am
sure.
there. No,
for sure.
I am there.
I think by the end of this year, or by the middle of this year, I'll be telling you about the process of the academy.
Please.
Because that's very close to my heart.
No, Dr. Duncan.
That's how I can plow back to the entire South Africa.
Dr. Duncan, thank you so much for.
Thanks, Dr. Clark.
I don't even know how to say it, but thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for the schooling you gave me and our viewers. And also thank you so much, Dr. Duncan, for, hey man, producing food for us during.
Very important.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys go through the most as farmers.
Yeah.
But you still go on. Thank you so much for doing that for us,
Thanks.
Dr. Duncan.
Thanks.
And
Thanks.
you know what? Sterkte with your auction. I know you're going to do well.
Thanks.
Yo, hey guys, I am literally shaking because this kind of knowledge is golden. It is golden. I'm going to leave you guys with another quote, and it says, quote, "Greatness is not measured by the size of one's steps, but the impact of those giant footprints left behind. Thank you so much, guys, for watching Ama Fama. Thank you guys also for listening on Spotify. Please, guys, send in all your questions. We read your DMs. We read all your inboxes. Thank you so much, guys, and look out for the next one.